Out of the pocket variety show. Okay. The left and tradcons are very good at bitching about red pill, but it's been nearly 6 years since the rise of Tate, and the left still can't present an alternative that young men gravitate towards. Well, first of all, and I don't know what your show is, but I got news for you. The red pill predates Tate. Actually, technically, the red pill predates me. But if you know anything about this, see, this is, and I'm not trying to be a dick. So let me see if I can be dip, because it sounds like this is an honest question here. No, I do agree with you. Yes, they're not gonna. They don't have a celebrity. They don't have anybody who makes wokesy leftism cool. Like I remember right after the election, and everybody goes, "How do we lose? How do we lose? We don't have anybody as cool as Joe Rogan on our side. We don't have anybody as cool as Jordan Peterson, because they're all red. Like Joe Rogan is red pill. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's in the manosphere." Remember when Dana Bash was like, "Well, that's the manosphere, and we're all in the manosphere right now." Hell, I even got a intro with that on the lead in, right?
I'm gonna play it.
Just that part.
The big term of 2024, Anderson, is the manosphere, and we're all living in the manosphere.
Dana Bash, thank you very much. That was the day. No, that was right after the election results. Actually, that was the day of the election. That was November 6th or 5th. But you are correct, and there's nothing that's going to make the left seem cool, because it's fundamentally anti-masculinity. It's fundamentally anti-father. It's fundamentally anti-anything. Hell, it's openly hostile against anything conventionally masculine, because they have basically built the entire platform, or the entire foundation of wokesy leftist democratic politics. And by politics, I also want to say that I would include the sort of the social aspect of that too, because you can't separate those two. You can't separate the sociology from the actual political ideology. And so the sociological, the socio-psychology of being leftist, being woke, being whatever, that all is included. So when people get hostile, I'm looking at what was there was an assassination, or of a Democratic congresswoman or senator. I think it's a congresswoman. Yeah, killed by another Democrat.
Yeah,
apparently. At least that's the story I'm getting. I could be wrong. I don't believe anything on fucking the internet, anyways. But clearly they are not against targeted assassinations. Clearly we're going to celebrate the Luigi basically cowardly gunning that guy down, and the United Healthcare guy in the back. I would almost have more respect for the guy if you had him on his knees in front of his face and begging for his life, and then capped him, right? I mean, it would be more like the Sopranos or some shit like that. But the guy just basically capped him, and then and he wanted to get caught. He knew he was going to get caught at some point. So but we're going to applaud that. We still, Trump gets assassination attempt twice. They want you dead. They want you dead, and you want them to come back to the fucking Democrats? What? No, that's not gonna. It's not a problem with being cool. It's a problem is that your entire, your socio-psychological political ideology is fundamentally anathema to anything masculine. And what can we do? We don't have any cookies over here. We need some cookies and brownies and Twinkies and shit. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, I'm glad you asked that question, because I have a video here of the most evil bitch on planet Earth. And let's see if I can find her. Where did you go? There you are. Okay, watch this. I hate her. I really do.
Say young men are being left behind by the left. I'm not just saying I wish they could make sexist jokes and be safe to do so. I'm saying the prototypical
when the Vyvanse kicks in.
Typical young man and his life experience and what that will create will never be accepted by the Democrats. He will be villainized, and his entire life from about 12 up will be villainized.
Yes. Put me back in. Will be villainized by you fucking, by you and Progressive Victory, by you and Democratic PACs, by you and Destiny, by you and Jasmine Jafar, by you and Mia Khalifa, whatever her name is, Farah, by you. They bought you like a fucking draft animal. They bought your voice, villainized by you. It's not a problem of we need more. We need people to come over to this thing. She's basically what I find fascinating, and I'll continue the video here in just a second. But what I find fascinating is like there's no connection. There's maybe it's because she's autistic, maybe it's because she's got Asperger's, maybe she's on Vyvanse. I don't know. First of all, she should be in prison. Quite honestly, she should be in prison because she's an accomplice to Destiny's crimes. But be that as it may, villainized by you. In the last election cycle, there was no effort, there was no outreach program to get young men to the Democratic side. There was nothing like that. There was actively against that because they bought your voice in the summer of 2022. Was Progressive Victory, and you thought it was fucking cool. You thought it was the best fucking thing because you got Destiny right there, who you desperately want to fuck. Maybe you already have, who knows? And all of his Destiny's Angels, right? And Jasmine Jafar, and now they can actually talk about this stuff. And by the way, every time I see one of these characters, I see Pixie, I see Farah on whatever podcast. Brian, that's on you. Stop trying to milk a dead fucking cow. Get new material for fuck's sake. Get new people on your fucking show. It's gonna die. Boring. Oh, it's not so erudite again. No one cares. No one cares about that whole set anymore. Let them die. Cut off the oxygen. And not so erudite, by the way, you're the problem. The DNC did not want to they weren't trying to get more young male voters. They were actively trying to push them away. They were trying to marginalize them. They were trying to demonize them. How do I know that? Because you directly came after guys like me, made up God knows how much bullshit about like me having an alt account that's a secret racist account, by all this bullshit about Lauren Southern, which has now been 100% vindicates me, 100% an actual relationship between her and Destiny. Nobody says jack shit about that. And you know why they don't? Because they were actively trying to destroy the red pill. They were actually trying to discredit it. They were actually trying. Why were they doing that? Because they knew that if they did, they could stop the vote of young men who were going to overwhelmingly side with Trump, which they did. Fail. Take the fucking L. That's you. And now you're going to say, well, let's see what we can do to bring these guys back in after what, a year and a half, 18 months, 2 years of you trying to demonize and villainize them yourself. I did a full-on video about Not So Erudite in the very early beginnings of all this. And she was saying, I could go back to this and quote this for you. I want to see the rational male go down. I want to see accounts like Rollo Tomasi's be pulled. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but like literally that's what she said. I can go get it. I could go find the video because I used it as a thumbnail on that video. So don't give me this bullshit about, oh, we're going to have to bring guys back into the fold. Nobody's coming back to the fold. No one is coming back to the fold. You guys went after Donovan Sharp. You guys went after MLD. You guys went after Mike Sartain. You guys went after anybody, and you wanted to get to me too. And you know what? Even Destiny said this guy's clean. I can't do anything with it. We need to make fucking something up. We need to manufacture some dirt on Rolo. We got to drag him into something. We got to trick him. We got to fuck with him or something like that, so he can discredit him and get him out of here. And you know why they're doing that? Because the people who listen to me, they don't, but they think that the people who listen to me are going to be voters who are going to vote against the political action party called Progressive Victory that was paying them, putting money in their bank accounts, and forced them to sign NDAs. Apparently the NDAs must have expired, because now she doesn't even remember any. It's like fucking, amnesia. So all this bullshit about bringing guys back to the fold and, they're going to villainize them and stuff like that. You villainize them. You are the fucking problem, not so erudite, and you need to go away. You need to fade into fucking obscurity, just like your boy Destiny is. You need to go away. No one cares. They certainly shouldn't be caring about you. Let me finish this.
He was bad. He was violent. He was aggressive. He was mean. He was loud. He was rude. He was rebellious. And we don't look at this as a child externalizing unhealthily. And the left has no answer.
Spare me your fucking psycho babble. Wait, keep going. I got one more. There's a little more in there.
For this, they have no way to even begin to engage in this.
Yeah, they don't. That's why, and you knew that. You knew there was no cool person on the left. You know that the first thing they said, we didn't have any Joe Rogan. We didn't have a Jordan Peterson. They sure as fuck didn't have a Rollo Tomasi, but you tried to fucking kill him off. You tried to take him down, tried to send him to prison. You tried to fuck with me with the whole thing that with Brittany Venti. Yeah, that was you. Yeah. All that shit with Brittany Venti and all that shit with Lauren Southern and all that stuff that took place in the summer of 2023 when I was trying to deal with my daughter getting married at the same fucking time. Fuck you. Yes, nobody is going to pay attention to you, and no one is going back to the left party, and thank fucking God for that. Good night. Sweet dreams. Get the fuck out of here. Exit stage left. Fade into obscurity. Because it's all fucking bullshit, man. Like they didn't have any plan. Like it's we needed more outreach. No, they knew they couldn't. That's why they tried to fucking take everybody down. They tried to marginalize it. They hoped that men wouldn't show up at the polls. They thought that maybe they would. They thought by taking down the red pill, taking down the manosphere, taking down the figures that are in it, that they could in some way stop this tide of young men who are these disaffected young men, which I showed you in some of these and some of the prior videos, like the one guy talking about why would men want to participate in society that hates them? The left hates men. The woke hate men. Democrats hate men. That's just how it is. It's just, you want to distill it down to its most basic component. The Democrats hate men. Leftists hate men. Liberals hate men. End of story. That's why I was saying before when we're talking about Father's Day, there's the conservative side, which is do better, motherfucker. And then there's the leftist side, which is fuck men. It's toxic masculinity. So we need to name it Special Persons Day or Stepdaddy Season or Stepdaddy's Day or some shit like that, or whatever it is. So feel good penis owning humans. It's funny I even have to say that because that's what they're saying. Right? Are you a penis owner? Yes. Okay. Well, were you always a penis owner? Yeah. When you came out of your mother's womb, was one attached to you? Was one assigned to you? Yes. Okay. Looks like you're a bad. Yes, thank you for that. I had that warming up in the bullpen there, and that was a perfect segue, my friend. Yes, they will never appeal to the left. Will never appeal to young men, not for a very long time. I mean, unless we have another baby boom generation who have the dawning of the age of Aquarius, or some. I'm channeling my inner Aaron Clary right now. Sorry, I knew I would. Unless there's some sort of, I don't know, free love movement in the next like 10 or 20 years, don't bet on guys coming back to the fold. They were never in the fold to begin with. And you knew that. You were scared of that. And so you tried to marginalize that. You tried to destroy that. You tried to prevent that. And now you're going to go, whoa, darn, we lost because they didn't want to. They actually did go out and vote despite our best efforts to keep them out of the polls. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Not so erudite, Kyla.